Hello and welcome. My name is Sue Schoning. I am from the Soul Lighthouse. I'm delighted that you are here with me as I come to you on what has to be the hottest day of the year. We are having a heat wave of note in Europe. There is this incredible temperature that is just blistering through Europe at the moment. And as I look at this picture that's on the screen of this fire that is burning up, it just feels incredibly appropriate because I'm sitting here under the studio lights, sweltering as this energy that is outside is just like an oven. It really is like a furnace here today. It's not just the temperature, though, that is hotting up. We are in a space as we go into July that we're going to feel the very energy around us starting to heat up. We're going to feel that rippling energy as it starts to heat up around us, and the pressure is now on. I could have entitled this video, instead of calling it Ready, Aim, Fire, I could have entitled it Can You Feel the Burn? Because that's where we are as we go through July. This very heated energy that is crackling, that is sizzling with so much potential and so much power. And as we go through this month, we want to harness this because it's only going to accelerate and it's only going to get more and more dynamic from here. Normally we stop at this point and we say, let's have a reality check of 2019. But you know as well as I do, it's been a very busy year. It's been quite stressful. It's been quite dynamic. It's been very, very busy. There hasn't been enough time to be able to do things politely or simply or smoothly. It's almost been as if we are carrying 100 balls all at the same time, and we're trying to juggle all of these balls all at the same time, and you can't take your eye off one ball for a minute. It's been overwhelming at times. Relentless is another word that I would use, as this energy just hammers and hammers and says, this needs attention and that needs attention and don't forget about this. And so this is where we've been through 2019. Here we are in July, starts to get even hotter. It's going to get even hotter as that pace accelerates and that pace speeds up, and this metaphorical heat wave starts to blister through as we go through July. I wish I could say that we're doing things politely, that 2019 would let us focus maybe on the work and the business and getting that all in place. And then we could, gently meander over and sort out our money. And then we could kind of segue into our home and sort out our family and our home issues. And then our relationships just came nicely online. But of course, it's all happening all at the same time. All of these overwhelming stimuli saying this is important and this is important and this is important. So where are we and what is really going on? Well, there's an emotional leveling up that is happening. There is a mental change and mental transition as we are changing the way that we think of things and the way we do things, the way we approach things. But there is also a spiritual upgrading that is happening as we go through 2019. I know I've said that every month this year is important. It's a big energy month. July is no different. It's a big energy month, and it is where we start to see the spiritual upgrading now begin to take root. It's been happening almost behind the scenes throughout 2019, and now we start to see that consciousness actually coming to the foreground. What is July about? Well, it kind of takes us full circle. July's energy resonates with a 7. 2019, as you know, resonates with a 3. We add those two together and we get a 10. In numerology, what we would do is we'd add the 1 and the 0, and we'd end up with a very, very powerful 1. Now that 1 energy is all about strength. It's all about direction. It's all about focus. I want you to think of the warrior. I want you to think of an arrow, you know, that as I pull back this arrow and I focus in and I know exactly where I'm aiming the arrow. But it has a number of other qualities that come into play here. That July energy, that 7 energy, is incredibly intense, super connected, very, very conscious, but it's an incredibly intense energy. If you were hoping for a gentle meander through July, I'm sorry to disappoint. This is an intense energy from beginning to end. That 3 energy from the 2019, now that is a very, very creative, expansive energy. It really is about unfolding and expanding. Unfolding of what? Of this intensity, of this consciousness, of this connection, of this super ability to be able to focus in on what is really important. And then we just add in that very, very powerful warrior strength, direction, focus, energy, and it pushes us into a space where we can almost feel that there is a downloading that is happening. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people as we've gone through the last couple of weeks, and so many people have said, I feel as if there is something that is filtering down. There's a downloading, there's a rescripting, there's a reframing, and I can't quite grasp it in my conscious mind, but I'm aware that it's happening. And if you have been feeling that this is what's happening, you know, you get into bed and you wake up the next morning and you know that something's been downloaded during the night, but you're not quite conscious of what it is. Well, as we go through July, what it does is it starts to form a laser focus, starts to bring it into a very, very sharp focus of what it is that is being drip irrigated into our consciousness. And there is a laser focus that starts to now appear that we can now look at July through this energy of laser focus and say, this is important, this is what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to focus my energy, this is where I'm bleeding my energy, and I'm going to pull it all back with consciousness, with mindfulness, and this is where I'm going to focus. And it pushes us into a space where it says we are going to get laser focused about what it is we want to achieve as we go through July, but indeed what it is that we want to achieve as we go through the rest of 2019. It's a very, very powerful energy because it pushes you into a space of clarity. How many of us have been in a space we've kind of felt that there's a lot of marshmallow cotton wool going on in our heads, and our brain just can't make head or sense of everything that's in there, and we can't put it into any kind of coherent order, and we just don't know where and what and how. It's not procrastinating. It's almost in a space of woolly cotton wool brain that you know it's in there somewhere, but you can't get to it because there's candy floss all over it. Well, as we go into July, and you're going to feel this energy coming in, there is a super clarity, there is a super coherence, there is a super resonance that starts to form. And as you put yourself at the center of that resonance, that's why one of the reasons why meditation is very, very powerful this month. Meditate, put yourself into that center of coherence, ground yourself, center yourself, so that you're in a space where you're absolutely in the center, and you can now start to get laser focused on what it is that you want to achieve in this month and for the rest of the year, and allow it to literally ripple out. It is just the most incredible energy to start focusing in on what it is that you want to do. So we revisit those goals. Have a look at what you set down in January and revisit those goals and have a look. Where am I? What have I achieved? What can I cross off? What has changed? Because some of the things that you put down in January might well have actually shifted. And you might be in a space where you thought you were going in that direction, but now you know, and you're correcting the sails. This is the perfect time to correct the sails. But it is important that you have a very clear idea of what it is that you are shooting for. You know, if you are aiming a bow and arrow, you actually need to know where the target is, because otherwise you've got no hope of hitting it. Like that very famous saying that says, if you don't know where you're going, any ship will get you there. So it is the perfect time for you to choose the right ship. It's also the perfect time for you to adjust your sails as you adjust your course. Vital this month that you knuckle down into a routine and you bring in the power of discipline and focus, because coherence is great, clarity is great, being super connected and having a very clear idea of what it is you want to do is great, but it won't matter anything if you haven't got a routine and if you're not disciplined and you're not focused, because anything that sits here or sits out there in the castle in the air that doesn't have discipline and focus and routine and actual getting it done, it's not going to do anything. So as important as being in mindfulness, as important of being in the center and holding the clarity, is of equal importance is this need to get very disciplined, very focused, and very, very structured in how you're going to keep at it. You want to ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that I really want to create right now? And it doesn't always have to be a big business goal or a big money goal. It can be a lifestyle goal or a meditation goal or a connection goal or a consciousness goal or a relationship goal. What do you want? And then follow it up with, what is it that you actually need? Because, you know, sometimes our needs and our wants are two different things. Be very mindful of what it is that you want and what it is that you need. And then you ask yourself, so what am I going to do about it? Because as long as what I want and what I need is out there in la la land, and without me doing anything to bring it down into reality, it's got no hope of manifesting. It's kind of like me saying what I want is to win the lottery. Wouldn't we all love to win the lottery? What I want is to win the lottery, but I don't go out there and buy the lottery ticket. So it's that simple. What is it that you want? What is it that you need? And what are you actually going to do and take action about? Because that is what we need to look at, and that's what we need to keep focused on as we go through July. Now, it's a very big month for a number of other reasons. We've got a total solar eclipse happening on the 2nd of July. That's only going to get seen in the Southern Hemisphere, in South America specifically. But nevertheless, we've got a total solar eclipse happening. And what is to be kept in mind as we go through this solar eclipse is that as that moon passes in front of the sun, I want you to think of the sun as the masculine energy, as this divine masculine. And what we have is we have this feminine energy that comes in and obscures that masculine energy for a while. And it is this energy as of this particular solar eclipse. It's just so very powerful because it is about understanding or honoring or being in a space of reflection about the sacred feminine. Now, when I talk sacred feminine, we talk energies of nurture and nourishment and support. That sacred feminine energy is about holding the center. It's about holding the ground. It's about being in a space where she is so aware of who she is that she can hold the support and she can guide whoever comes into her space. And we're all very comfortable with that energy when we talk about the sacred feminine. Now, this eclipse that we've got happening on the 2nd of July raises this energy of the sacred feminine. So as we're moving into July, we are almost stepping into it through the veil of the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine energy is also She's abundant. She is creative. She's all about manifesting, and she's in the flow. So there is this energy that accompanies now this super connectivity, this intensity, this direction. Nurture on the one hand, abundance on the other hand, of the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine, however, is also exceptionally powerful. Just because she's soft does not mean she doesn't have strength. Just because she is in the flow does not mean she doesn't have resilience. That sacred feminine is an energy that is awesome. And I don't mean it as in, oh, awesome. I mean it awesome. It is very powerful, very awesome energy. So now just think of this July month that we're going into. It's hot. The temperature is speeding up. It is this energy where we are being downloaded to, where the consciousness is being elevated. We are in a space where we have direction, we have strength, we have all of the power that goes on in this month. And it is surrounded by this divinely beautiful, sacredly feminine energy, awesome energy of abundance and nurture, of nourishment and flow, of manifesting and creativity, of centering and grounding. Now you start to get the idea of why this is such a powerful energy. Direction and strength is a very masculine energy, and here we have it gift wrapped with this sacred feminine. If the solar eclipse is not enough, we've got a partial lunar eclipse happening on the 16th of July. And the theme of this particular lunar eclipse is all about service into action. Now, I'm not going to try and cram everything into this video. I will do another video as we get closer to that lunar eclipse. But just think of it now. Everything that I've just said, direction and strength and power and intensity and all of that, and this beautiful feminine energy. And now we add in this theme of service into action. And it puts us into a space where we have to ask ourselves, what do I believe? Really, at the core of me, at the center of me, what is it that I know to be true? What is it that I absolutely believe within the very depths of my being? And as I acknowledge that, as I honor that, and I bring that out from the core, and I now put it into service, because the theme is service in action. Who or what am I going to be serving? So this energy that says we start off intense, we start off with connection, we start off with being in a space of consciousness. We surround it beautifully with that sacred feminine. And it says, take that and go deep within and say, what is it that you really believe? Follow the in-breath to what it is and who it is that you really believe yourself to be. And then as you breathe out, who or what is that core energy going to serve this month? Because this beautiful energy of the lunar eclipse brings in service into action. And we all think, that when I go into action, it would be something big. It would be something powerful, that we all have a big mission and we all have a big purpose. But in a month like July, it says don't focus on the huge purpose. It's not about saving the world from cancer. It's not about discovering a new civilization on top of a hidden mountain. It is about being in a space that says, let me see who or what am I serving from this deepest core. Maybe that is your family. Maybe that is your core values. Maybe that is what you truly believe. How are you going to put that into action? How is that going to ripple out around you this month? very deep question, a very worthy question to meditate on. How are you going to take what's inside and create a service? Who or what will you serve as you go through July? Before I end, I want to also say that the 16th of July, which is this partial lunar eclipse, is Guru Purnima. And Guru Purnima is always the first full moon after the summer solstice. And what Guru Purnima is when we honor the deepest teachings. We honor our teachers. And Guru Purnima is the celebration when the sacred teachings were made conscious and made available to people. And what we do on this day is we honor those people who have brought us consciousness, brought us awareness, brought us to a point of deepest learning. And sometimes that might be a guru, sometimes it might be a priest or a rabbi, it might be somebody who has led you to a certain understanding. Sometimes it might be a life experience. Sometimes our deepest teachers are those who have wounded us the most. Sometimes our teachers come from encounters and experiences with people who have no idea that they are delivering us a cosmic message. As we get ready for Guru Purnima, so over the next couple of weeks before we hit Guru Purnima, I would urge you to be in a space where you look at your journey and you say, what have I learned? And who was it who delivered this message to me? And whether the experience was good or bad, but the learning was profound, you know that if you have had profound learning, if you've had a call to awakening, if you've had moments of consciousness that have been delivered to you, this is a space where you give thanks to the teacher or the situation or the person who has made that happen in your space. On Guru Purnima, we ask for our teacher for our next level. And you know that whole thing, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This is where we honor that reality on Guru Purnima. We honor that when my vibration is ready, the teacher who is to take me to the next level of teaching will appear. So it is a very, very auspicious, beautiful celebration that says the consciousness that I have come to in this life is because of certain people or experiences, and I will honor them. I will give thanks and I will recognize. You don't need to go and knock on their doors and go and give thanks to them. Personally, you can sit and do this in meditation. You can sit and do this in consciousness. You can spend some time just reflecting with gratitude for the journey that you've been on. On Guru Purnima, we look at our lives and we say, this is where I want to grow. And you know, old ways don't open new doors. And so Guru Purnima really is about leveling up. It's about taking our vibration to the next level. It's about asking for the teacher to come. And so it is a space where we look at our journey and we look at the story that we have walked from when I was born to where I am now. And we look at our stories and, you know, we've all had moments in our stories that have caused us pain and caused us hardship. Every single one of us has been touched by life. Every single one of us carries wounds. But on Guru Purnima is an invitation or a reminder that says, don't forget, you cannot fully honor who you are. You cannot fully love who you are if you still hate the experiences that have shaped you. And so even though the experiences might have been painful, as I say, the learning might have been profound. And on this day is when we give thanks for the journey that we have walked. So it's a very, very powerful month. There's too much for me to put into just this little video, which is why I will be back with you at regular intervals during this month, just to expand on some of these themes that we have spoken about. But you can now see why consciousness, why sacred feminine, why direction, why knuckling down, why intensity is all part of the package as we go through this month. It's a very, very exciting energy that we've got. So if you are in a space where you would like to go further and you want to start having sacred conversations about anything that you have experienced in your journey, and if you are in a space where you'd like to explore and you would like to take your learnings further, then have a look at our Sacred Conversations package. We've got 7 modules, 7 very, very powerful modules, each one designed to take you into an in-depth conversation about very sacred themes in your life. It's an appropriate offer during this Guru Purnima month, during this sacred month, during this feminine, intense energy. So have a look at the website, get hold of me. If you'd like to know more, just get hold of me and we can see whether sacred conversations would be something that would be powerful for you at this point in your journey. As always, if there is anything that I've said that you want more clarity on, get hold of me. If you want to find out what this energy is doing in your unique journey, get hold of me. We'll have a look at your Vedic chart and we can see what is really happening unique to where you are. I hope you found today useful. If you liked the video, please hit like, please subscribe. I would be very, very grateful for that. And stay tuned because throughout this month, I will be releasing a number of short videos as we go into some of these themes that I've mentioned in a lot more detail. But thank you for watching. Hope you found it powerful. Remember, it is an accelerating month. It is a very, very powerful month. Stay centered, stay focused, and knuckle down and do the work. I'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.